Griffin the Griffin by BlackWing. Chapter 8. New in Town. Gilda, I just realized something.
What is it, Griff?
Ponies are idiots.
You're just figuring that out now? She said sarcastically.
No, what I mean is, the ponies are naive, and where there are naive ponies, there will be those who try to take advantage of them, like Pierre back there. The thing is, he's naive too. I also took a look at the gems out front. I figured we'd only get about 5,000 bits for ours. 3,500 is 70%. We got more than I expected out of him because he was too stupid. We knew he would try something like that, which is why there were two of us. He tried it anyway and got caught. Most morons think everyone else is one. Now, we also think that we're smarter than everyone else, but we can't let it get to our heads or else someone will surprise us.
You never cease to amaze, she replies.
Well, we've got 3,500 bits, so let's buy some fruit and vegetables. But not here. Everything is priced higher here. We'd be wasting our money. Let's head to the next town. Gilda pulled up the map and scowled.
Ponyville.
What's the matter? I asked, knowing darn well what the issue was.
In all Equestria, the lamest ponies live there. That purple bookworm I told you about, a pink pony that's way too hyper, a snob who'd fit in perfectly here, some farm hick, a scaredy cat, and...
She trailed off. Let me guess. Judging from what you've told me, it's a group of friends. All that's missing is the athletic one, who's also an idiot. Me again, knowing everything.
I told you to stop that. Yeah, I used to hang out with her back when she didn't suck. Then she started hanging around with a bunch of lame ponies. She changed, and now we're not friends anymore,
she said, looking sad but trying to hide it. Yeah, back on my world, I had a couple of friends. I made a change for the better and started doing something fun, something they didn't like. Just like that, I was all alone in the world. Part of the reason why I'm here, I guess. It sucks being without friends. I guess we have each other now.
Yeah,
Gilda said weakly. What I said struck a nerve.
Well, I say we go somewhere else.
Can't. That's the only town on the way to Counterlot, unless you'd rather eat more raw clams. There was a large expanse of land between Manhattan and Ponyville, and the iconic village was actually further south than Canterlot, but it was closer overall. We needed new supplies, so we'd have to stop off there. She gulped hard.
Point taken. If you don't mind, I'll just fly over town while you do business. I don't really want to go back there, and I don't think they'd let me in either.
Alright, and tell me a little more about each of them. I knew all about them already.
Why?
She asked. I want to know what to look out for. Gilda explained each of their personality traits, or what she knew of them. It was all old news to me, but I listened anyway. I couldn't let her know that I secretly adored those lame ponies. Well, I had to agree that Pinkie was too hyper and Rainbow was too cocky. We'd probably end up butting heads. Okay, got my list. A bucket, some cooking knives, some potatoes, tomatoes, leeks, lemons. Don't need chives because I can just find them. I need a small pot for cooking, a folding stand to hold the pot, an axe to get firewood. Oh, some backpacks to make carrying it all easier. Should probably get rid of my animal skins. Walking into town looking like a bloody mess is sure a way to send the wrong message. Keeping the sword though, it looks awesome. Okay, I'm all set.
So, you gonna name it?
Gilda asked me. Name what?
The sword. It's unique, and if you're gonna be king one day, you gotta have a name for your legendary blade.
She laughed as she said king, letting me know that she wasn't serious.
Midnight rain?
The dark and cloudy night, and my enemy's blood shall fill the heavens. Sound good?
You dork,
she giggled. Gilda? Gilda giggled. Her of all people, ponies, griffins, whatever, giggled? Laugh it up, hot stuff.
It's too complex. Try something simpler, she said, blushing at my compliment.
I know for a fact she likes me. Might as well make her know I like her. Never thought I'd be in Equestria. Now that I'm here, I'm falling for the last one I ever expected. Hades.
What does that mean?
She asked. In Greek mythology, the same mythology that has griffins, Hades is the god of the underworld. He has a skeleton face and wears black robes. The gates of the underworld are guarded by his pet, a three-headed giant wolf, Cerberus. To enter, you're taken across a river of blood by a skeletal ferryman. People would put a coin in the mouth of their loved dead ones, because when the ferryman took them across, when they got halfway, he'd ask for payment. If you didn't have it, he'd dump you in the river where the souls of the wicked dead would drag you down and make you feel the pain and cold of drowning for all of eternity. Your weird alien species is seriously messed up, she said, dumbstruck. And you know something? That's just the entrance, and it's not even near the worst afterlife we've thought of. She shuddered at the thought. I wasn't going to tell her about Dante's Inferno. I didn't feel like cleaning griffin puke out of my feathers. Alright, so I'll meet you at the edge of town. Here. I pointed to a spot just south of Sweet Apple Acres on the local map. She nodded and flew off, telling me she'd find a place to take a quick nap. Diamond dogs don't come anywhere near here, and there aren't any thieves either, so it'd be safe. She took all our collected gear and carried it to the meeting place, while I headed into town. We'd been flying for a while to get there, and I wanted to rest my wings. As I walked into town, some background ponies I recognized started staring. Lyra and Bon Bon, the turquoise unicorn sitting in her usual human-like manner, Roseluck and Carrot Top, also known as Golden Harvest. I spotted Derpy slamming into the lap post, not once, but 3 times before finally deciding to go around it, having a private laugh to myself.
Hi, I'm Pinkie Pie, and I saw you walking into town, and I thought you'd be new here in Ponyville because I'm friends with every pony in Ponyville. So I remember all of them, and I don't remember you, which I definitely would because you're a second Griffin I've ever come here. And, whoo, what's that on your back? It looks heavy, but it's shiny, and I saw you walking all alone, and I thought if you were all alone, then that means you probably don't have any friends here. And what better to make friends than to...
I would have been surprised if I wasn't expecting it, but I was expecting it. Nobody can walk into Ponyville without a Pinkie Pie greeting. I put my claw over her mouth about halfway through that, but she just kept talking through it, and it was easy enough to figure out what she was saying. Listen up, I don't like parties because I feel awkward at them. Pies are fine, but cupcakes are too sugary. Eating too many sweets will make you sick. I'm not here to stay. I'm a traveler who's just passing through to buy some supplies. The thing on my back is very shiny and heavy, and it's also very sharp. It's a tool and a memento of my journey, and I would appreciate it if you didn't touch it. Not that you could damage it, but I don't want you to hurt yourself. As for friends, I do have a friend who I'm meeting later after I buy my supplies. We want to keep moving, and I don't want to waste any time here. I really just want to get what I need and leave. Even though I could understand everything you just said to me, you are much too hyperactive for my tastes, and if you don't want to direct me to what I'm looking for, then please get out of my way. Okay, I was a little mean, but I have a schedule to keep. Next to Rarity, Pinkie is actually my least favorite. She's too hyper and too happy. Sure, she's funny and she's friends with everyone, but from my time on Earth, you get it in your head that anyone who's that happy has something seriously wrong with them. And me having pretty much no friends at all makes me just about incompatible with her. She's sweet and I'm sour. And since we're not making a sauce to go on chicken or rice balls, nor are we a package of candy, although, given what she eats, she could be mistaken for one, we don't mix well.
You mean you don't want to be my friend?
She said, giving me the sad eyes. Too bad I'm immune to them. I'm afraid not, I said, throwing her a ragged piece of tied rope from my pack that's specifically prepared for this moment ahead of time. Afraid not. Afraid not. Get it? Pinkie looked at the rope for a moment, thinking about what I said before she burst out laughing.
You've got a great sense of humor. Are you sure you don't want to be my friend?
She asked. Listen, Pinks, that shiny thing on my back, it's a weapon. Where I come from is not a nice place, and I had to do some not very nice things to survive there. It's made from a dragon's scale. I'll let you guess how I got it. Here's a hint. I'm a great big mean meanie pants, and you don't want to get involved with me. I'm just gonna pick up what I need, and then I'll be out of your hair.
Don't you mean Maine?
She asked quizzically.
And you can't be all that bad if you're funny and talk the same way I do.
I talk the same way I do because I want you to understand that I'm dangerous and to stay away from me. Her mane fell flat. I just gave her the Ponyville equivalent of screw off. I kind of felt bad about it, but I didn't feel like getting a migraine from having my ears talked off. Given that I'm part bird now and they're inside my head, That would be a bad thing. Dang it. I was a jerk to Pinkie Pie. I really shouldn't have done that. I made myself feel bad. Hey, cheer up, kid. It ain't all bad. You've got plenty of friends. You don't need me to be one.
I never said anything about big, mean meanie pants or anything about cupcakes or parties. How did you know?
The pink party asked, having calmed down. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw her tail twitch, but I didn't let on that I saw it. I looked up to see a flower pot falling. I grabbed it in my claw and spun around. I have good reflexes when it comes to catching things. Comes from having things thrown at me a lot. Walked up to her, sitting on the ground, and set it in front of her. Same way you know when something's gonna fall. Damn, that was cool! Not technically a lie, since, in theory, since she exists partly outside the fourth wall, she's aware of all happenings of the universe should she actually try to look at them. She's far too active to actually try and concentrate on it, so it acts out on her body instead. Like when she had her doozy, she knew something was going to happen at Froggy Bottom Bog. I was aware of things the same way, combining my reaction times with my audience perspective. Apparently, that was the wrong thing to do. Her mane became poofy again, and she started yammering over again.
You mean you have a pinky sense too? Although you're not a pinky, you're a griffin. So it's a griffin sense? It does different things than my pinky sense does, so it must be different. Do all griffins have it, or is it just you?
She kept throwing a million questions at me before I had the chance to answer any of them. Listen, if you help me find the things I need, I'll answer your questions to the best I can, I said, holding my claw over her mouth again. She nodded, and I handed her my shopping list.
Okay, potatoes, tomatoes, hey, those rhyme. Leeks, lemons, knives, a pot, bucket, and a folding cooking stand? Are you some kind of traveling griffin chef or something?
She asked with earnest. I guess you could say that.
Ooh, can you cook something for me? I bet the food you make is really good.
Oh boy, I didn't want to have to tell her this. I don't think you'd like the food I make.
Why not?
She asked, batting her eyelashes. Because I'm a griffin and most griffins eat meat. Last I checked, ponies are vegetarians.
Oh, okay, I guess you're right.
She looked a little sad, but hey, she wanted to know.
Ah, here we are at the variety store,
she said, perking back up again. I checked through the store, finding the bucket, pot, knives, backpacks, and cooking stand that I needed. I paid for them all with haste, ignoring the small, strange look I was getting from the store owner, telling me he thought I was going to try and steal something. Racist. Okay, so now it's just the marketplace. I should be able to find everything I need there. Then I'm out of here.
Wow, traveling the world? I know you just started. Even fighting a full-grown dragon and winning? You must be super strong.
Pinkie was impressed. I left out the bloody details. I just told her that it went after my friend, and I fought it off. Not really. I'm just super smart.
Ooh, you didn't tell me your name,
Pinkie exclaimed. Here we go. Not gonna, you'll just laugh at me.
No, I won't,
she defended herself. Pinkie promise? She looked stunned that I knew about that, but just as her friends chalked her behavior up to being Pinkie, she didn't question it. She went through the silly ritual before I gave a sigh. Griffin.
Well, duh! I know you're a griffin. What's your name?
Oh boy. Griffin, I said again.
I promised I wouldn't laugh. You just tell me your name, she squealed.
My name is Griffin. I'm Griffin the Griffin. My parents were unimaginative, and I had to explain this to every pony I talked to. I was annoyed, and then I was mad. Since I got here, anyone I've talked to has always made fun of my name. And I do not like being laughed at! Pinkie Pie, despite making her trademark Pinkie promise, laughed at my name. As soon as the first giggles came out, she put her hooves over her mouth and looked at me with desperation. Goodbye, Pinkie. I began to walk away. She sat there on the street. Her mane went flat and she began to cry.
Gilda!
I heard a yell come from the sky, and I was tackled by a blur.
You dare show your face in Ponyville again after what you did? When I saw you talking to Pinkie, I thought maybe you would change. Maybe you came to make things right. Now you're gonna make her cry. No pony makes Pinkie Pie cry.
Crap. I'm about to be murdered by Rainbow Dash. Wait, did she just call me Gilda? I jumped to my paws, using my wings for stability as I crossed my forearms, holding my claws out in front of me. It's not a very good move on humans, because humans have their feet planted firmly on the ground. Rainbow Dash was flying it, and she'd never see it coming. The enraged mare dove at me, both hooves forward, intending to ram me with them. I caught them in my claws, using my crossed arms to brace against the impact. "See ya, sweetheart," I said, using my coolest, most masculine voice possible, which confused her greatly. Then I uncrossed my arms, making her spin around like Star Fox when Peppy won't shut up. "Do a barrel roll!" Dash came out of it and crashed on the ground. Her eyes rolling around in her head, she hit herself with her hoof to make herself snap out of it. She got on all fours, crouching low as she gave a springing tackle, using them to lift both her wings and her legs. I have a higher center of gravity than her, so she was hitting me low to throw me off balance. Clever girl. She flipped off my back paws, causing me to land on my back. Luckily, I had a sheath made for Hades when we were in Manhattan, or I would have lost my tail to the blade. Rainbow landed hard on my upper stomach, knocking the wind out of me. She was fast and small, and I wasn't trying to kill her. An impossible to hit target that I wasn't trying to hit. There was no contest. "Ah!" I yelled in pain. She looked at me angrily as I felt a strange tingle. My eyes shot wide as I realized the position I was in. "Somebody help! I'm being raped by a bat bear!" I called out, using what little lung capacity I had available at the moment. Rainbow suddenly stopped her attempts to bludgeon me, looking down between her legs. She saw that she was straddling me, pressing it up against my body with her own area. She jumped off, embarrassed. Once I regained my breath, I stood back up. "Geez, sunshine, if you wanted me that bad, you could have just asked. I'm open-minded." Man, I love Edward Kill. "Can it, Bunny? Why'd you go and make Pinkie Pie cry?" she asked, still mad but also blushing. "Why, am I not pretty enough for you?" I said with as much a smirk as one can have with a beak. "No, you're ugly. Now what did you do to Pinkie?" she yelled. "I didn't do anything. Why don't you ask her?" Pinkie had watched the whole thing and explained, leaving out all the details. "I made a Pinkie promise and then I broke it," she said, sobbing. Rainbow's eyes went wide as the thought of Pinkie Pie herself breaking her own trademark promise. "Who are you, anyway?" she demanded. I gave a sigh. "Griffin. Here we go again." "Your name, idiot!" She was annoyed. "First you tackle me, then you call me a girl's name, then you molest me, then you make fun of my looks, and finally you insult me because my name is ironic. Pinkie, you said every pony in Ponyville was your friend? With friends like Skittles here, who needs enemies? Go on that, Dash. Maybe that'll take your ego down a notch." Wait, now I'm being a jerk to Rainbow Dash too? What the hell? I mean, I was in a bad mood anyway, but that's no excuse. You are by far the worst pony I've ever met, and I would prefer to never see you again. As for you, Pinkie Pie, I forgive you, but I still won't be your friend. You shouldn't get involved, I said, trying to look like I'm holding a hidden pain in order to make the fact that they won't get to know me even worse. I'm a terrible person, you know that? I just met 2 of the main 6, and I made both of them cry, even though it was their own faults. Pinkie looked a little happier, but Dash had tears in her eyes. In order not to be seen crying, she flew off to what I assumed would be above the clouds. I hope your friends aren't all that mean, Pinkie, or else I'd have to reconsider your offer, since I'd fit right in, I said as I walked toward the market square. What the hell, Brain? Stop making me be mean to my idols! Dear Princess Celestia, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Sincerely, Griffin.